You've now read the definition of human trafficking. You've watched the video from Elijah Rising, which I feel is a fantastic way to show the context of Houston's problem with trafficking. And you've also seen some pictures. I showed 3 books in that top middle picture. Those books are fantastic. Our class read them in the Fuller course on sexually exploited children. And I also shared photos from the brochure. That we had an awesome event at the end of January I was privileged to be a part of. We co-hosted it with a sister church down the street, and we provided the lunch. I had already spoken to one Sunday school class, our largest Sunday school class at our church, and so I asked them for some funds to donate so that we might sponsor that lunch. And then my own Sunday school class I presented just this morning, so they had not even heard my presentation but knew about trafficking. So I raised over $1,200 to sponsor the lunch. And we've got a great bit of interest within our congregation. I'm speaking to our moms group this Wednesday with one of our assistant DAs who's just rolled out of her job. She's also a church member. She's going to be co-presenting with me so that our moms can understand this from the legal side, which is really her expertise. She's fantastic. So the first leg I would like to propose is continued education for our congregation. We have so much good to do here. This information is really daunting and overwhelming unless people break it down, which has been done for me in the Fuller class, and then also through some studies that I've done. So just personal study. So I think education is so huge. This protects our children, the children of all we love, the children that we mentor, the children that we advocate for as volunteer child advocates or mentors in the elementary schools, readers, how to talk to our children. When they're our children and we have the privilege, how to talk to our children about their bodies, about sex, and how good it is within marriage, how God made it, how it was ours first, and the devil is trying to do what he does and take a good thing and pervert it. About how pornography is not victimless crime, but is terribly connected with sexual exploitation. How we need to keep our young people off the streets. They can't get mad and run away. 1 in 3 young persons will be picked up off the street within 48 hours by a trafficker. So all of this sounds quite overwhelming and depressing, and I want to end on a positive note. Our young people today do not smoke. For the most part, they do not smoke cigarettes. Many do not even drink sodas. They know that cigarettes and sodas are not good for them. They might even tell you, sodas are not good for your pancreas. So if we can teach a generation not to do these things that used to be viewed as harmless, then we can teach a generation not to take part in pornography, not to take part in pimp culture, to know that brothels are awful, that the girls or boys inside are not there of their own free will, even if they look like they are. We can teach them that no one chooses prostitution in their right mind without having had a history of sexual abuse. We can emphasize the role of the father so that we have children who are fathered well and do not go looking to fill a void. So anyway, there's so much good we can do here, and I need to rapidly move on. But we're going to have to talk about things that make us uncomfortable, and we're going to have to realize that they belonged to us in Christ first, and they don't need to make us uncomfortable. All right, so that's the first leg that I propose is education. The second leg, I propose a prayer team who will commit to a year of praying together, hopefully once a week, about this issue so that we will have discernment about who we are going to be in our community as a congregation. The third leg, we have many lawyers and involved politicians in our congregation. We need to stay involved with the mayor's office. My husband is our pastor, senior pastor, and he and I were both able to meet with the mayor's office. We have a point person on this issue. We want to stay connected to see where we can help them with legislation. And the fourth leg, only God knows. I'm not necessarily saying intervention, but if the Lord leads us to aftercare, then only He knows. So definitely education, definitely prevention, definitely what I'm calling legislative advocacy, and then only God knows. So what I'm asking is for prayer. It would also be nice to have a small account of monies to have on hand for education and community involvement. And finally, an open mind. This is scary stuff. Some people don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But if we love our children and God's children of our neighborhood, of our city, our state, our nation, and our world, then we have to go there. So thanks so much for your open mind and your open heart.